Welcome to the stock workout where we flex on the market to make gains. Now today we're going to be talking about Novavax, ticker symbol NVAX. Now before we get started, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so I can keep bringing you content on different stocks and updates on what's going on in the market. Now if you guys saw my last video, you would have seen that the share price literally doubled. It went up from about 135 all the way up to about 270. It hit a peak in the after hours and pre-market at about 293 and came back down, and in the last 2 days it's sort of been consolidating. That's gains of around 100%. We've seen the volume at 8 million, where its average is about 3.6 million shares a day. The market cap has doubled in the last 2 days. Since the release of their phase 3 results in the UK, we've seen the share price double and the market cap double. Now, the question is, where to next? Should you buy, sell, or hold this stock? Now wait until the end of the video where I'll give you different price points of the support, the resistance, and what you should and shouldn't do depending on your situation. Now as an update, I'm going to talk about Novavax and where they currently stand. So, currently they've released their phase 3 results in the UK and we're waiting on approval. In the UK, Novavax is doing a rolling review with the MHRA where they are reviewing the data as it is released by Novavax. So we could see an approval anytime from now. As we know, once that approval comes through, this is going to be a catalyst and push the price higher. But let's think a little further along the line from that. So they've got a phase 3 trial in the US and in Mexico as well. We're waiting on results for both of them trials. Both will act like a catalyst to push that price up, because each country will need to authorize the use for this vaccine themselves, obviously with their own regulatory bodies. Now, what's the scope for this share price to go higher? So we'll have to look at the amount of orders that it's received, how many it will be able to supply, and what revenue is expected to come in for Novavax. So as we know, the US gave Novavax $1.6 billion in return for 100 million doses. That works out to be around $16 per dose. Now that order is just from the US. We also know that Novavax has been given 388 million by the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness, and the company is called CEPI. This is a non-profit organization that seeks to vaccinate the world during health pandemics. It was only set up a few years ago, and they also awarded Novavax with this 388 million alongside the 1.6 billion given by the US government for the production and development of the vaccine. As CEPI has an international focus, Novavax has been able to sign agreements throughout the whole world with many different countries. So this includes the UK, Australia, New Zealand and Canada. Now we know that in total, these countries have signed deals for a total of 286 million doses. Now that doesn't take into consideration any other countries that Novavax has signed deals with, and we know Novavax has signed deals with Japan, South Korea and India as well, but we have not been told how many doses have been ordered from them. So the 286 million doses in total ordered from UK, Australia, New Zealand and Canada, if we multiply that by the benchmark price of $16 a dose that was supplied to the US, that works out to be $4.5 billion in revenue. Now that's $4.5 billion in revenue for a company with a market cap of 16.8 billion as it stands today. Now once the order numbers from Japan, South Korea and India are released as well, that's obviously going to be much higher than it stands now. Now you should also take into consideration the fact that the EU hasn't signed a deal with Novavax yet, and if and when it does, you will see a large number of additional orders from the EU as well. Now you may be thinking, with the other competitors, why would anybody order from Novavax? And this comes down to the fact that With mRNA vaccines, aka the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine, there's logistical issues about how the vaccine needs to be stored. We know that they need to be stored in minus temperatures, and we know that the Moderna vaccine can be stored in ordinary freezers, but that means it will only have a shelf life of 30 days. Now, the benefit with this Novavax vaccine is the fact that it can be viable at a minimum of 6 months at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. It can also be stored at room temperature for 24 hours. This gives it a big benefit over the other vaccines currently on the market. So, taking into account all these factors and all these potential catalysts that are yet to come through, where is this stock heading next? Now, remember another thing that this does not take into account: the flu vaccine that Novavax are developing and are yet to bring out by the end of this year. So, taking a look at the chart, we've drawn a quick Fibonacci retracement. We saw the price run up from $135-ish all the way to a peak of $290, but then it dropped down in market opening hours to around $270. Now that is over 100%. Market cap sits at $16 billion. Now, the other coronavirus vaccine makers have a significantly larger market cap. So looking at this chart, we can see that after this run up, we did see a slight little bit of profit taking. We saw the price drop to this 250-ish level on the Fibonacci retracement, comes in at 23%. But we've seen it hold that level and bounce back up to 266. Post market is 264. Now, if you're currently in this stock and hold a position, you could wait for the next catalyst. There's a few ways to play this. You can wait for the next catalyst and see another increase in the price. Given the price to sales ratio that is due to come for 2021, it's going to be 4. Now that is significantly better than the other vaccine makers currently, like Moderna. Now, a couple of price points to keep note of on this Fibonacci retracement: 252 acts like the next support. If it breaks that, we might see the price break down and come down further. If you're holding a position, that will be a good point to take profits. If not, the next resistance is at 295. Now remember, catalysts will always trump these charts and retracements and any analytical tools you use. So if we see another catalyst come through, for example the approval from the UK, you might see this price shoot straight past this. If you're currently not in this stock and you want to open a position, you could open a position anywhere in between the 266 to 252 mark. If you do see the price come below 252, you might want to put your stop loss around there. And if you do have a position or open a new position now and you see the price get rejected from 295 and it doesn't break through that, you may want to take your profits. Me, myself, I'm currently holding. I think the catalysts will push this price up much further. I'm in this stock for the long haul. I think that Novavax has a lot of room to grow. I think with the multiple catalysts that are due to come, this price can go much higher and it can gain a larger share in the COVID market. So there you have it. Support sitting at 252, resistance sitting at 295. As I said, I think this stock has much more room to grow. If you saw it in my last video, I posted the video at around the 135 mark saying that as soon as the trial results, phase 3 trial results come out, we will see that price increase, and we've literally seen it double. If you appreciate that, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel so I can keep bringing you more content, and I'll see you on the next one.